Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, was where I spent the first 13 years of my life. The city was a horrible place for someone with a vision impairment. Walking on the streets independently was a dangerous undertaking. The gutters were home to thousands of homeless kids, men, women, and whole families. When walking on the street, if one was not careful, one could walk into cooking utensils and beggars, and stepping onto bodies and other unpleasant things, such as stinking rotten food and dead animals. It was always noisy, crowded, and anxiety-provoking. The roads were full of traffic, lots and lots of cars, trucks, buses, motorbikes. The most dangerous of all for a blind person were the millions of bikes and bike-driven rickshaws, for one could not hear them coming. Lastly, not every major intersection had lights to direct the traffic, let alone facilities for pedestrian crossing. You can understand why so many people in that country are deeply religious and superstitious. I was no exception. I used to say a little prayer with my arms and legs crossed every morning before I embarked on my journey to school. The prayers must have worked, for I'm still here today and in one piece. You've guessed it, I've had some near misses. The number of times I got very close to being cleaned up by a rickshaw was not funny. The funny thing was, they've always managed to miss me by centimeters. Every time I had a close run with a rickshaw, I was showered with verbal abuses from the driver. "屌你老母! 屌你老母!" Rickshaw drivers must be geniuses. Even without me telling them, they somehow always got it right. As they put the rickshaw into a skid, they used to yell, "你咩盲㗎?" or "Are you blind or something?" One day, walking home after school, I was not so lucky. As I was crossing a large, busy road on my own, I was hit by a cyclist. I was thrown hard onto the road. I felt the back of my head hitting the ground and heard the bike crashing several meters away from me. As soon as I realized what had happened, I was terrified. My mum never found out about the accident. In fact, she still does not know about it today. Nearly 20 years later. I trust you can keep it secret. In September 1979, my family and I migrated to Adelaide. One day, as we were walking around the block exploring our new environment, I became aware of the clean air, the sunshine, the trees, the singing of the birds, and the serenity on the street. It was quiet, calm, and tranquil. The footpath was clean, well-defined, and safe on which to walk. When we needed to cross a busy road, we were able to cross at the lights. It was easy, and I felt secure. A strong sense of elation, gratefulness, and contentment swept over me. I knew I had fallen in love with this beautiful and splendid country. I turned to my parents and said, "Mum, Dad, I'm not going back to Vietnam. This is home for me." Despite being blind, I have a keen sense of curiosity and a healthy dose of grit and determination. I could not speak English until I was 14, but I have completed 2 degrees at Flinders University. I have volunteered with Lifeline and sat on boards and committees of several organizations. For the past 20 years, I have worked as a social worker and case manager with Guide Dogs SANT. I feel immensely privileged to be able to use my knowledge and experiences to provide assistance to others. Growing up in Australia, I was involved in blind athletics as a track and field athlete. The highlight was my participation in an international competition in Indonesia in 1986 as a member of the Australian team, where I won gold and bronze medals. I was also lucky enough to be a torchbearer for the 2000 Sydney Olympics. The torch relay made me feel very much included in the life of this beautiful country and a proud Australian. I'm currently involved in tandem cycling, and I recently participated in my 3rd successive Para Road National Championship. However, without a doubt, my proudest achievement has to be the fact that I'm married to Lily. My wife Lily is so beautiful and loving towards me, I often feel I'm the luckiest man in the world. I would encourage everyone to have dreams and goals that are realistic and achievable. Be prepared to work hard and do what it takes to keep moving forward. We don't always get what we plan, but for me, enjoying the journey is a big part of life. If I set my mind to it, there is nothing I cannot do. There is no obstacle I cannot overcome.